You know, one of the very strangest parts about my current career trajectory, I run into a lot of people from my childhood out there on the streets and in the shelters. And for those of you who have watched my videos for a little while now, you'll probably remember I have mentioned a number of times that I was a very angry little turd nugget. I was very good at being angry. Unfortunately, I was not very good at fighting. Tended to get my ass whooped on a regular basis. And, well, there's at least one person at my workplace who, his entire family whooped my ass in a group beating when I was about 12 years old. And it's funny because me and him ended up becoming good friends a couple of years later after we did some jail time together. But on top of that, another person that I ran into today on my outreach walk was also somebody who not only did he get into fights with me constantly back in my group home days, but he was the kind of guy who went out of his way to manipulate and skeeve and scheme and do everything he could to make my life a living fucking hell. So yeah, I walked up. I said, "Hey, Mr. R, would you like some water? You want to smoke? Need a granola bar?" And I hooked that motherfucker up. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he said, "Thank you, Gary." And that kind of blew me away a little bit. Didn't think he'd recognize me, let alone remember me. But he did. And I said that to him. I said, "I'm somewhat surprised you actually remember who I am." And he turned to me and said, "Oh yeah, I remember you. I could never forget you, man." And I kind of gave him a bit of a quizzical look. I said, "Really?" He didn't really seem to like me very much. And he started to look really sad. Almost heartbroken. And I says to him, "So you alright? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you, bro." Well, turns out, the reason that he treated me like absolute fucking trash and went out of his way to make my life miserable had absolutely nothing to do with me. He, as far as he's told me today, was in love with me. He says, "Yeah, I know I was a dick, but, I hadn't figured myself out yet. And I thought you were one of the most beautiful people I'd ever seen, and you were so smart, and you were so awesome. And it made me jealous, and it made me angry. And I lashed out for years. All through grade school and part of high school, this kid treated me like a pile of fucking shit. Only to realize it was because he was a very confused, very unhappy, very unaware individual about his own reality and his own existence and his own life. And unfortunately, that never got dealt with. And so he's still struggling with his own existence to this day. 20 years later, he's on the streets. He's, it looked like he had been through the ringer the last few days. And, I have no anger for him. I have no rage. I have no ill will whatsoever. Old me would have probably beat him upside the noggin with that water bottle and shoved that granola bar somewhere that the sun don't shine. Modern me, the Gaz, not the Gary, not the Elrond, but the motherfucking Gaz, he's something different. And it's incredible to know that I can live without rage and hate in my heart. And I hope that Mr. R knows that, like I tried to say to him, I don't have any ill will towards you. I just am somewhat surprised at your response. And in all fairness, when he told me that he was in love with me and that he thought I was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen, boy, I tell you, I don't think I've blushed. My face was redder than my glasses are. Oh boy, it's been many, many a moon. I didn't think I was still capable of blushing. Somehow, that motherfucker made me blush. And it's crazy how I was able to provide for somebody who I had no idea would even be willing to accept help from me or sit down and chat with me. And I would have never known why he did what he did if I hadn't have reached out in kindness and compassion. It's an interesting feeling. I'm still kind of trying to work that out. Me and Scully here, we don't really know how to handle these things. Our emotional capacities, our emotional intelligence is in a weird place. But yeah, it's incredible the things that you learn when you just take the time and take the effort to be just a little bit more compassionate to your fellow man. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll try to get videos up after each outreach walk, as I usually do. If I miss one or two in the upcoming days, I apologize. It's going to be a very busy time for me the next couple of weeks. But just know that even if you think I don't like you, even if you think I'm too spicy to handle, even if you think I'm an asshole, I promise you, I love you. You matter. You are important. He is important. I am important. We are all valid. We all matter. We are all important. I love you guys. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay harm-free, and stay motherfucking awesome. Happy Friday, guys. Cheers. Gaz is out for the day.